5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to double this just to make sure. There we go. Okay, everything should be lined up and synced up and sounding good and looking good. Woo! That's my system.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Yoshi.
This is Naoki Yoshida, producer of Final Fantasy XVI.
Hello.
And welcome to the State of Play. Today, I'm here to talk a little bit about the story, world, and combat system of Final Fantasy XVI.
Okay.
As well as reveal all new information regarding the game's wide variety of RPG elements and support systems.
All right.
We'll be talking you through everything while using never-before-seen gameplay footage.
I feel like I've seen so much of this game already, but they're going to show
stay
more.
With us until the end of the show and enjoy everything we have in store for you. With that, let's get started.
All right, let's do it. Capture on the PS5 because this is a PS5 exclusive.
You all know the target. Shiva's dominant. And only the dominant. Focus, Wyvern. You are key to this mission's success.
That must be an initiation thing, the like tattoo thing on their face. I think it looks kind of dumb, but it feels like it's one of those things like Assassin's Creed where they used to take off your finger.
I said focus, Wyvern.
Do the hidden blade. Somebody pick up the controller. All right.
Home sweet home.
Allow me to welcome you to the world of Final Fantasy XVI.
Whoa. Okay.
Final Fantasy
All
XVI
Koopas.
is the latest installment in the Final Fantasy
There's that
series.
15
A
tech.
storied franchise with 35
Upper
years
in
of
the
history.
background.
Yet while this is the 16th mainline title in the series, there's absolutely no need to have played any of the previous games before jumping in. With
For all those people who have never played Final
real-time
Fantasy
action
before.
and RPG features, Final Fantasy XVI
There's
has
the
been developed
mage.
as the first true action
Red
RPG
mage.
in the series.
There.
Using the power of the PlayStation 5 to its fullest, the game delivers an expansive, thrilling gameplay experience which we liken to a high-speed roller coaster ride.
Okay, using my terminology for me here. Okay, let's see. Frame rate on that flying segment looked a little. You know what? I think it is so. Yeah, I'm gonna call it right now. If the frame rate looks a little rough, it's because of the encoder. Like whether it's YouTube or Twitch's video encoder, it just makes everything look a little bit rough. This is also not in 60 FPS. I guarantee you the actual game itself will be. It's just a pre-rendered video that they have that they're running on the Twitch side of things. YouTube is going to be the same way. Holy shit! That looks cool. That looks pretty cool. Not gonna lie, that looks pretty damn good.
The protagonist of our story is Clive Rosfield, and his
Why
journey
Clive?
takes place in the realm of Valisthea. We follow the epic tale of Clive, Shield of the Grand Duchy of Rosaria, as it unfolds across 3 distinct periods in our hero's life: his teens, 20s, and 30s.
Ooh! They both got squeezed.
While the story begins with Clive in his 20s, a fully playable flashback will allow you to experience the pivotal events that shaped his past
Okay.
and present.
So it's gonna be very short snippets of his life.
And thus does the curtain open on this newest Final
Boy, this
Fantasy
is-
adventure.
This is feeling kind of Assassin's Creed Ezio trilogy. Like it's probably gonna be more like kind of like a Ezio Arno type of situation, but if you played Assassin's Creed, you know what I'm talking about. If you're only a Final Fantasy fan, then you're like, what the fuck? Basically, Ezio, you've seen his whole life from birth to death. That's what it's really feeling like for this too. Oh shit, Ifrit looking cool as shit. Uh-huh. Ifrit looking just badass. Oh, menus. Abilities. Oh, jeez.
Navigation in Final Fantasy XVI is driven via a world map, with
Giant
locations
map.
being added and updated as players progress through the main narrative.
I thought they were going to say as we get them done.
The
It was
world
like,
map can be
oh,
opened
no.
at any time, allowing players access to all manner of
It's like not live
locations across
service.
Celestia.
howdy ho.
Here, players will meet new friends, encounter formidable
Holy
foes,
Witcher
and
Batman.
uncover great and wondrous mysteries.
This might be one of the first Final Fantasies that's like medieval times, because there's Final Fantasy has two different eras. It's either futuristic steampunk or it's medieval, old fashioned era. And to me, I always like the like steampunk, modernish kind of take on it. This doesn't look terrible though. Like my favorites are like, like the 7 to 8 to 13, that whole vibe. But I did enjoy I did enjoy Final Fantasy 1 though. When I played that last year, I was like, this is actually a solid game. This is the reason why Final Fantasy took off. I get it now.
Next, I'd like to talk about the combat of Final Fantasy XVI. All the battles in the game take place in real time and are not turn-based.
All right.
As Clive progresses
cool.
through the story, he will learn
There's
a
a-
wide
all the
array
old school
of
fans are like,
exciting
"Ah."
abilities from the icons that he encounters.
My turn based.
Now, let's take a moment to admire Clive in action.
Fuck, this is my type of stuff right here. Hell yeah. What the That's super cool. I am totally in the way of the I'm in the way of the UI. Hold on. Put this up. Put this up here. There we go. Woo! Hell yeah, we can rain down ice. Smack them in the face with the fire fist. Beat their ass Devil May Cry style. Yeah, this is like a Devil May Cry version of Noctis FF15 combat. With even more. I'm just really hoping that this is only like midway through the game and then you can do even more crazier shit towards the tail end. It looks like a grapple hook type of situation. Okay, so there's like multiple weapons going on right now. Fucking, oh, yep. Yeah, Virgil Yamato shit. It's gonna break the screen. What? And they just stands there all chill, like, yeah, I just
The
did that.
abilities that Clive wields have unique characteristics depending on the icon they are derived from. Players can use ability points collected by defeating enemies
Right.
to unlock
The
more
grind.
abilities or upgrade existing ones. Can't decide which iconic ability to unlock or upgrade?
Then why not do them all?
No problem. You can let the game choose for you.
Oh, wow. Okay. Lazy mode. Instead of reading anything, you just click the button
Final
and it just
Fantasy
does it.
XVI includes a range of timely accessories to provide support to those players who may not be so skilled at action games, bringing them a truly enjoyable experience. Players are
Fucking
encouraged to equip Clive with different combinations of these accessories until they find the one that perfectly matches their own playstyle.
I mean, that's good, but it's like, action games aren't that
I can
hard.
particularly recommend to those who may struggle with action gameplay is the Ring of Timely Focus and the Ring of Timely Strikes.
Oh, hell yeah, we get...
This combination allows players to unleash a wide array of different techniques just by pressing
Ooh,
the
there's like a
single attack
parry.
button,
Hell yeah,
as
it's like a
well as shifting
Bloodborne
into a
mode.
window of
Fuck
slow
yes.
motion whenever Clive is about to be hit by an attack.
That's super
giving
cool.
them
You
a
can
little
zip
extra
out of the
time
way
to
of
hit
everything
R1
and then
evade.
parry it and blast him in the face. Nice.
Alternatively, players could equip an accessory that fully automates
whoop,
evasion.
whoop.
As I said before, I really encourage everyone to discover the combination that works best for them.
Man, the amount of gameplay tech that's going to end up happening with this. Hell yes. Awesome.
And for those who want to concentrate on the story, don't forget to choose Story Focus Mode before starting a new game. In this mode, timely accessories are automatically equipped from the start, allowing players to immerse themselves in the narrative experience without having to worry too much with the action.
That's good. That's good. It's awesome that it's a game mode.
Clive will meet many characters along his journey who will join him as friends and allies.
Poopo? Ooh, doggo.
This place. These are fallen ruins.
Well, we didn't think they'd mind. And it keeps the black from our lungs.
But how do you survive without magic?
Sidolphus, who becomes a mentor to Clive.
Like his big brother.
Jill,
True then.
a friend from Clive's youth.
It really is.
Such encounters and reunions will set Clive on a path of great personal growth.
My lady.
Clive.
We have another Jill.
Some of these
Everybody's gonna be-
companions will
everybody's
even
simping over another
accompany
Jill.
Clive on his adventures, fighting alongside him and finding lots to talk about along the way. That said, players will only need to focus on controlling Clive. Party members are fully AI driven, providing support for the hero and constantly adapting and responding to his actions.
Okay. I kind of like the FF7 thing where you can play as all the different characters, because you could set up for like really cool, you know, like Barrett he starts to do a big power hit, Tifa comes in, boom, with the uppercut, and then you know you can finish off a Cloud just going nuts over the sword. It was just super cool for setting up that big blast of a moment. Maybe you can do it in this. Maybe there is like menu options where it's just like, okay, everybody do your supers all at the same time.
Oh, and we cannot forget Torgal.
Yeah, there you go.
A smart, strong, and
love
fiercely
it.
loyal hound, Torgal is always by Clive's side
Yeah.
and willing to stand by him in the face of whatever cruel fate may befall.
We got a cool looking doggo. Woo!
Torgal will act of his own accord, but players can also give him direct
Like
command.
a husky doge.
Just don't forget to give this good boy some treats.
Yeah, you can. I love it.
Goots, get her upstairs.
But none will...
Don't fret about Karen. I've taken care of her fee.
All of it?
She's the best healer this side of the belt. You've nothing to worry about.
Oh,
Go. Have a look around.
the other
Look at my
way
soul.
for him.
After progressing somewhat through the game, Clive will gain access to Sid's hideaway.
Of course, his name is Sid. Why wouldn't it be? There's always a Sid in every Final Fantasy.
Here in the hideaway, Clive will find a shop where he can purchase new weapons, armor, and consumables such as potions.
You want to buy a sword?
You'll not find a better price than that.
oh shit. She is
Blackthorn,
going to be
a highly
like,
skilled blacksmith,
I'll
works
sell
the
that at a
hideaway's
fair
forge,
price.
bring in materials to craft new gear or upgrade existing items.
Okay, the first thing to do is
After
figure out
upgrading
what
your
can we
equipment
sell in
or
bulk
unlocking
to
new
make a shit ton of money.
Try accessing
Then we
the
just buy
Arete Stone.
everything. Training mode. Alright.
Here, players can enter a virtual training area outside the bounds of time and space, where they
Jesus.
are free to refine and practice combos
Street Fighter
of their
lab over
very
here.
own.
Cool.
Once you're confident in your skills,
Yeah.
try your
Yeah,
hand
why-
at
why we gotta
arcade
beat up on the
mode
wolf,
and see
huh?
how your
Huh?
scores stack up against
Shit.
players from around the world.
Yeah, you beat that goblin's ass. Oh, stab right at me.
is home to a lot of other features as well.
You should go in
Not
the
only
back
will
cabin.
players
It's like a
discover
little,
variety
mini
of
strip
side
club back
quests
there.
here, but they can also view information on quests offered all around Valisthea.
He is here. Just ring, diddle, ding, diddle, ding, diddle, ding, diddle, ding, diddle, ding. They're just dancing around. Square Enix will never work with me after that.
All right, Clive. Still busy saving the world?
Oh, good day.
Mid. When did you get back?
So the Kupos being here, that means this is part of one of the other
Back so soon.
universes of Final Fantasy. This is a separate story, but it's part of that like universe or whatever, I do believe. Anytime you see Kupos, it's like that old medieval universe.
Visit the hunt board to gain information on elite marks, fearsome foes lurking about the realm in desperate
Oh,
need of
okay,
slaying.
bounties. Well,
And
there we
Moogle
go.
will be your guide.
Yeah, 20 grand to hunt down a bounty. So there, that's hunt down like 3 bounties. You got yourself a new weapon. All right, that's cool. Okay.
There's also Lordesman Harpocrates, who will unlock Valisthea's secrets as Clive recounts tales of his
Ah.
adventures.
The little chibis. Da, 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 da. That's cool. That's cool.
You wish to study
What?
the tomes?
Going back to the roots. Super cool.
Here for another of my lectures.
And Vivian Ninetails,
What is it that you
a
wish
scholar
to
and
learn?
strategist who will be
Here's the
more
latest
than happy to
information I have.
explain to Clive the current state of the realm and provide information on key players. There are all kinds of interactions and features in the Hideaway to help
Okay.
players get even more
So that's like your
out of their
codex.
time with Final Fantasy
It's
16.
ever changing.
So if you forget, like, yeah, if you're terrible with names like I am, like, who the fuck is this person? Then you just go in there and be like, Bloop. Nice. What? Elden Ring, what? Ooh,
On his
you
travels,
got eaten.
Clive will encounter a wide array of fearsome foes.
Boy, I've been seeing a lot of D&D stuff recently, or the last few months, and just it just you see so much of it referenced in Final Fantasies, and you know, like Dragon Age, and you don't realize it until you start to see more and more of it. It's just like, oh, okay, this is where they're getting all that stuff from. What, dude? The camera angles, hell yes. That's badass. Hell yeah. To your feet, soldier. The other one just standing there watching him get his ass kicked.
He will, of course, clash with the dominants who wield the power of the icons.
Right. Instead of it being a summon, it's like a power-up suit. And it turns them into a summon. It's funny because I was saying that before when I was playing FF15. I was just like, imagine if instead of you summon these guys in, they just power you
The
up.
surrounding lands under their sway.
And they're actually going that route with it. This was before I started
Mysterious
streaming or anything.
constructs of the fallen.
I was just like,
A civilization shrouded in mystery.
I was saying that on like social media. This could be an actual hard fight because you only have a very small little platform to fight this guy at. Woo. Okay, there's a shield. I'm looking for like badass parry mechanics to work with. So it's like shield, dodge. I think there's a slight bit of a parry in there. You have all the tools. It's not a Souls game though, because there's no like, you know, it's not Souls combat. There's no stamina bar.
And shatters his very limits.
Fuck.
The shining point of Final Fantasy XVI, however, has to be the breathtaking icon versus icon battle.
Yeah. This looks badass as all hell. So how much is this blah, blah, blah. How much of this is going to be a quick time event though? Once again, the frame rate is kind of dipping. I'm not gonna lie.
These epic confrontations all play out in real time, allowing players to control their very own icon with their own hands.
So this is the reason why he keeps saying this can only be done on the PS5. Because the amount of loading that you need to make all this shit work.
These battles differ depending on the icon encountered, and every showdown is unique, right down to gameplay.
My God, look at the fidelity on that.
Everything from a 3D
Like the scale and the
scrolling
fidelity of
to a
this.
heavyweight wrestling match with devastating
Yes.
attacks that encompass
Yes.
the entire battlefield.
Hell yeah. The particle effect's also going on. God damn.
These massive scale boss battles are entirely seamless, and I can promise you heart-stopping, controller-gripping excitement. I can't wait for
You
to
will
get your
die.
hands on the game for yourself.
If you die in the game, you're dead real life. Heart-stopping, thrilling action. There's so much going on.
But if you can do it, then so could I.
This is where everybody starts going, it looks so anime. Okay, so it's like this shmuppy. Dude, this is like Bayonetta. This is some Bayonetta shit right here, which is really cool, because they've never really gone that far with scale. It's like a super high fidelity looking Bayonetta type moment. Into a goddamn movie. Final Fantasy, the fighting game. What the shit, man? It's just... Dude, this... I mean, the whole industry stopped for Elden Ring, but god damn, this looks like on another level. This looks true. Truly what we were promised for this gen. Back to a flying sequence again. It's a little much on the flying sequences, but again, that's like the Bayonetta feel. I hope we're not doing, you know, it's not going to be like little action, little fly, little action, little fly. Unless they set it up where it's like, okay, yeah, let's go flying. Fuck! Swords Wrath type of moment. Jeez. Holy. This is going to be one of these. Just blow the whole thing up. Sure, why not? This is going to be one of these where it's just...
So everyone, what did you think? Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Final Fantasy 16 will be available worldwide June 22nd. And there's still plenty that we've left to reveal. Battle content, side content, endgame content, and more. We hope to bring you more on these aspects of the game in the near future. Also, I'm truly excited to finally be able to reveal that Final Fantasy XVI's main theme was written and performed by one of Japan's greatest recording artists, Kenshi Yonezu.
Okay.
We've still got a lot more in store for you in the coming weeks, and I hope you'll all pre-order the game and join us in Valisthea on release day. This has been Naoki Yoshida, producer of Final Fantasy XVI. See you again soon.
The game is very close to being done. That's what this is being. Are we going to get a demo for it? Probably. Is the game kind of close to being finished? Most likely. Everybody's all like, we're waiting until next year. I don't think so. We might be waiting by maybe holiday season towards Christmas time, but I'm going to make a bold ass prediction, say Thanksgiving, maybe. We might be playing this by. The funniest part of all, if you go back and watch me seeing that game the first time, I'm just like, I don't know if I really get into this because it's like medieval stuff and I'm not really like, on the medieval stuff. I'd much rather the steampunk futuristic type of vibe going on. I like that way more just because, it just felt like Final Fantasy 16 was going to be like this MMO styled Game of Thrones wannabe thing, and I was just like, I don't know about that. It's still kind of my worries about gameplay being very MMO style because it's Yoshi on the team is totally out the window. Like that's I have no doubt that this thing is going to play like Final Fantasy 15 now that we've seen more of the combat and the way that you're running around different villages and underground caverns and doing all that and going on this whole adventure with a big giant world map. But it's not like go grab thing, talk to person, go back over there, grab that thing, come back and talk to that person again. It's not that stuff. It's actually like, okay, big major cutscene, get you, get your brain like, all right, let's go do this thing. That just happened. Now there's a reason to come over here and do this. And that's the biggest thing that throws me off on some of the Final Fantasies. It's just the level design, or the quest design. The game is fully fledged action RPG in the Final Fantasy series, features high-speed battles in which players switch between powers of various icons as well as large-scale icon versus icon battles. Spoke with the main director, how the game's harnesses. What I'm wondering, though, is are they going into detail exactly how the architecture of the PlayStation 5 is making this all work? What I'm guessing is it's most likely on the same kind of thing that's like Ratchet and Clank, where like it's going to be very hard for them to ever put Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, I do believe it's called, the latest Ratchet and Clank game, the launch one on the PS5. It's going to be hard for them to put that game onto PC just because you have the way it like reads the SSD and loads everything as quick as it does. You're switching between different levels on the fly and all that stuff. It seems like this is kind of doing that same thing of like you're switching between level wise of like, all of a sudden we have two giants fighting now instead of it just being on the ground, going back and forth with the sword combat. Now it's like two like a boxing match in the middle of the air. It's okay. Super cool on that. Memory speedy SSD. I've worked with a lot of different hardware over the years, and many have failed to strike the right balance between the capabilities of the hardware and size of the memory. PS5 is different. It comes with enough memory installed to take full advantage of the hardware. As for the SSD, we're building the game. I was simply blown away by how fast it was. Okay. Because there's no memory restraints. That's good. That's very good. That means, and this right here, if there's no memory restraints, that's usually the first reason why you need to have like a PS5 Pro. So all this talk of like rumor mill PS5 Pro is in the works. Again, if they're doing that level of everything with Final Fantasy 16, I don't see why we need a PS5 Pro other than maybe ray tracing capabilities. If they have, different AI stuff that they can throw into the chipsets to make ray tracing work better at a higher frame rate, possibly there. But memory constraints don't seem to be a thing, especially if they're doing all that. Final Fantasy franchise is known for the quality of its graphics, developed the PS5 game first and foremost. And this is the reason why it looks so good too, and why this game is probably coming out quicker than what everybody's thinking, is because they don't have to optimize for 12 different platforms. It's just the PS5. So as long as you get good and running smooth on the PS5, you're good to go. That means half the development time for optimization. less than that even. Naturally, we wanted the graphics to be the best that they could be, so we put a lot of focus on the fine details of the character and environmental models. Okay, very cool. As well as the quality of lighting and shadows to really make them shine. We're able to think the size of the PS5's memory. Clive, the protagonist, can at least a wide variety of attacks and animations and effects. All can fit in the memory too. Right, they're talking like, you know, you can do all that because that's particle effects. That's a whole separate like model that you have to load on top of his character model and everything. Oops. So yeah, it's like you just have this super explosion of everything happening all at once. That's awesome seeing that. And they can just do it. It just works. Probably not that easy. It's probably, you know, there's a lot of workaround and smoke and mirrors that's happening with this, but you know, they can make it work. Could you explain a little bit about how FF16 makes use of the PS5 DualSense? Okay. There are certain sectors where the player will have to open heavy doors or lift up. Yeah. All right. So it's the same. It's just a lot of the adaptive triggers have been coming down to that of like something's heavy, and you know, it's like that type of situation. They're also used when riding chocobos. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Man, that would be actually kind of cool where it's like you're pulling on the reins on the chocobo and it's like I want to go left or right, and you do that where he's like pulling on the reins to go left and right, and and then if you want to stop, you pull back and he just pulls back on the reins like that. That'd be super cool. I'd love to see that for like if they make another Red Dead or something too. Like there's so much you could do with the adaptive triggers right there. We converted the sound effects used in each scene into haptic data feedback, which lets us portray details. Yep, that's normal stuff. Will be the first fully fledged RPG in the history of the series. Action RPG, sorry. I was like, RPG, that's what you guys only make. Yeah, fully fledged action RPG, which means Devil May Cry, basically. Yeah, Devil May Cry Bayonetta type of situation. Bold move to abandon the command system entirely. Okay, no, that's what they're going for. So where FF7 Remake was like, you could still go into the menu and be like, okay, I want you to attack, I want you to heal, and you could like pause the gameplay or at least slow it down to like 80% or 5% speed, whatever. You could 80% slow it down, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then this one is just like, no, there's no slowdowns. There's no turn base. It's just, gun it, balls to the wall action, and then you customize your loadout basically as you're going through. To me, I love it. That's my type of game. So that's right. When it came to designing FF16, we wanted to see what would happen if we took it in a new direction, made it a full action RPG. We fine-tuned the gameplay so when you take the DualSense controller in your hands, every input produces a reaction that you can feel. One of the main features of the battle system is the wide range of icon abilities. Right. So the abilities wise, I'm going to say this is kind of sort of similar to the way that like God of War is working, I think, where it's going to have like all of a sudden you have your fire abilities, Ifrit, then all of a sudden you have your water abilities, then all of a sudden you have your ice abilities, and maybe some earth or something, and then you can probably assign a couple of those abilities off to the dog, and the dog can do something too. I'm wondering if the dog can be your health pack, basically make it like Monster Hunter, where your Palico just sits there and heals you up, and then the doggo can be the good boy that heals you while you're just beating the shit out of her. Or the dog could use some traps or something too. Then again, you also have that second character with you too. So maybe that can be your trap, and then you just beat the shit out of them. There's so many different ways that it feels like you could go about this. So while the details of every Final Fantasy game might differ, they're centered around a captivating story, sense of tragic heroism at its heart. As per usual with Final Fantasy, when we started thinking about making the game for the PS5, we wanted to create a world where it was no disconnect between the graphics and the story. That's cool. So the CGI cutscenes, or CGI, I don't even know if there is CGI in this. It looks like it's all in-game rendered cutscenes. It looks damn good though. We are finally in the current gen. While it might go to some pretty dark places, it's a world where darkness only exists because the light exists too. The yin and the yang. Our heroes go through the trials at precisely hoped and better world where every man, woman, and child has their own sense of what a just world should look like. Okay. a very diverse cast. Lots of cool characters in it. It's a lot of good stuff going on. What other PS5 games have impressed you? Developer standpoint. I think God of War Ragnarok. Yep, is a fantastic example, and that's probably. I don't know. I feel like this is almost on a bigger scale than God of War, in a lot of different ways of just like the fights and everything that you're having. Like God of War did some badass stuff. That's probably one of the best games I've seen on the PS5. But this is still taking it to another level. So it's like it's almost like Sony Santa Monica, you did this. Well, check this stuff out. You know, it's like one of those things. Kind of different situations and different ways the characters are working, but it's still really good. So, yeah, Final Fantasy 16 looking great. Can't wait to see more of it.